Have you ever wondered what makes some words just stick? You hear a phrase and it just burrows into your brain and stays there? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secret weapons of language, the things that turn boring sentences into powerful, memorable ideas.
So let's just start right there. How do you actually make your words memorable? How do you make sure they don't just go in one ear and out the other? It's a real challenge, whether you're just, telling a story to a friend or trying to get a big idea across at work.
Okay, think about this phrase, time is a thief. We could just say, time passes quickly. And yeah, that's true, but it's so flat, right? Time is a thief, though. Wow, that paints a picture. It has personality. It suggests that time is actively stealing precious moments from us. And that is the kind of magic we're going to get into today.
And the name for that magic trick, it's called a figure of speech. Basically, it's just a fancy term for any time we use a word or a phrase in a non-literal way to make our language more colorful, more creative, and way more impactful.
So I want you to think of these as tools. Seriously, like a creative toolkit for your words. Once you know what they are and how to use them, you can build some truly amazing things.
All right, so what's in our toolkit for today? We're going to look at 6 of the big ones: simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, hyperbole, and onomatopoeia. Let's start with a couple that are all about making connections.
First up, we've got a pair of tools that are absolute masters of comparison. Their whole job is to take two different things and link them together to create a super vivid image in your head. And the first tool is the simile. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. It's a comparison between two things, and here's the key. It always uses the words like or as. That's the dead giveaway.
For example, brave as a lion. You get it instantly, right? We're not saying the person is a lion. We're saying they share that one quality of bravery. It's like saying someone is as busy as a bee. It's a nice, clear, suggestive comparison.
Okay, now let's meet the simile's bolder, more confident cousin, the metaphor. It also compares two things, but, and this is a big but, it drops the like or as and makes a much more direct, much stronger statement.
Think about life is a journey. It doesn't say life is like a journey. It says life is a journey. Boom. The metaphor doesn't just compare, it transforms the idea, giving it all this new meaning, right? A path, destinations, obstacles. It's way more powerful.
So let's just put them side by side to make it crystal clear. A simile, using like or as, kind of gently suggests something. He is like a star, but a metaphor, it just goes for it. He is a star. One suggests, the other declares. See the difference? Okay, moving on. Our next set of tools, these don't just compare things. Oh no, they actually breathe life and energy right into your words, making everything feel so much more dynamic and, well, alive.
And we're kicking it off with personification. The name really gives this one away, doesn't it? You're giving the qualities of a person to something that isn't human. It could be an animal, an object, or even an idea.
For instance, the wind whispered in my ear. Now, obviously wind doesn't have lips, it can't literally whisper. That's a human thing to do. But by saying it did, we create this quiet, intimate, and frankly beautiful image that's so much better than just saying it was a little windy.
Next up, a tool that's all about the sound of your words. Alliteration. This is when you repeat the same starting consonant sound in words that are close together. It creates this really cool rhythm that makes phrases super catchy.
And you absolutely know the classic example, she sells seashells by the seashore. That repeating S sound, it just sort of rolls off the tongue. It's playful, it's musical, and it's an amazing way to make your words stick.
All right, we're on to our final pair of tools. And these two, they love to play with reality. One stretches it way out of shape to make a point, and the other one just mimics it with pure sound.
Let's talk hyperbole. This is the art of going completely over the top. It's massive exaggeration, but not to lie or mislead. You do it purely for emphasis, to make your point in the biggest, boldest way possible. I mean, come on, we've all said it. I have told you 1,000,000 times. Did you really? Of course not. But it gets that feeling of frustration across so much better than saying, I've told you several times. It's all about creating that huge impact. And finally, we've got maybe the most fun one in the whole toolkit, onomatopoeia. What a great word. These are words that actually sound like the very thing they're describing. The word itself is an echo of the sound.
So a door doesn't just close loudly, it goes
Bang! A bee doesn't just fly around, it buzzes. And that clock on your wall, it goes tick-tock. You hear the word and you instantly hear the sound in your head.
So simple, but so effective.
So there you go. 6 powerful, practical tools officially added to your creative toolkit. They're all yours now, ready to make your language sharper, more engaging, and way more interesting.
So, what's the big takeaway here? These aren't just fancy tricks for poets. They are essentially shortcuts for our brains. They work because they take a big, abstract idea and connect it to something real and concrete that we already understand. And really, the best way to get good at this isn't to memorize a bunch of definitions. It's just to start listening for them. You'll hear them everywhere, in songs, in movies, in ads, everywhere. So we've unpacked the whole toolkit. We've seen how all the pieces work. The only real question left is, what are you going to do with them? How will you use these tools to build your ideas, to share your stories, and to make your words unforgettable?